now we are starting the valedictory session, and towards the end we'll be having the awards and of course the certification you'll be receiving on your own. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing I would like to mention to all the practicing lady valuers, you're supposed to be gathering after the session here on the right side of the stage for a photo opportunity. All the practicing lady valuers, you're supposed to gather on the right side of the stage for a photo opportunity together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Vivek Jawahar said, the valuers are the master of all trades jack of all trades and master of everything. Right, master of everything. But I call myself jack of all trades, master of ceremony. And on that note together, the master of everything and master of ceremony together, we are starting the valedictory session. I would like to invite Mr. P.K. Thiagrajan, the President IOV, on the stage. I would like to invite Dr. Mukulita, the whole-time member IBBI, to be on the stage. And our chief guest, I would like to invite to take place in the dais, Dr. Naurang Saini, the whole-time member, Administrative Law Wing. I would like to request Mr. Vinay Goel, the Honorary General Secretary IOV, to please come on the dais and take your seat. Can you please put your hands together for Dr. Saini? So thank you. Request Thiagrajan sir and Vinay sir to felicitate Dr. Mukulita ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And now I would request Thiagrajan sir to come forward and say a few words and share the greetings.
Good evening. First of all, I would like to congratulate Mr. Vinay Goel and his team for the tremendous work that they have done for the last 9 months. Planned well, execute well, all the credit goes to them. Okay? On behalf of all of you, I wanted to make a shawl from Lord Ranganatha to him. When I come. This is from Srirangam, Lord Ranganatha, from the Mandir. There is a popular feeling that theory is opposed to practice and the merits be with practice. This is a false conclusion based on a false supposition. If practice has long been successful and does not conform to theory, is bad and in need of revision. The distinction should not be between good theory and bad theory, but between good practice and bad practice. practice is break, theory is martyr. Both are required and both must be good if you are able to erect a worthy structure, keeping in mind the fundamental principles of the building remain the same. However, the same require adaptation for each of the subject A to Z involved in valuation 2, which you will be able to do only when you have depth in knowledge of the relevant subjects, which you have got for the last 2 days, yesterday and today. Rivers never go reverse. So try to live like a river and focus on future. If you are get tired like this evening, learn to rest and not to quit. The richest wealth is wisdom. The strongest weapon is patience. The best security is faith. And the greatest tonic is laughter. And surprisingly, all are free. Change is mandatory and for extraordinary results. Everything is valuable only in 2 situations. First, before getting it. Second, after losing it. In between, we don't realize the value of anything. Value has its value if it is valued. As so many people are discussing for the last 2 days, I finished with 3 words. Cost is a fact, price is the policy, and value is an opinion. At this juncture, I wanted to say, let me take this opportunity also to congratulate each one of you and wish an exciting, challenging, and satisfying journey ahead in the profession of valuation and life. All the very best. Thank you very much. Good luck.
That was Mr. P.K. Thiagrajan. Thank you very much, sir. And now I would like to invite Dr. Mukulita Varghese to say a few words. Ma'am, please.
I thank the organizers, Indian IOV and RVF, for organizing this Global Valuation Summit. It's a good venture, especially in the globalized economy, where India is taking a lead role. The importance of valuers in the society is not now at present or since the establishment of the Indian Values Institution, I think it's in 1968. But I think it is a part of Indian culture that we value even this scrap. We value raddi jo bechte hain, usko value karte hain. And whenever a person is wearing a sari or a suit or anything, possessing something, we start valuation and that's a matter of gossip also in the society. Usne ye pehna hai, itne ka hai, ye ghar itne ka hoga. Though we don't know what is the circle rate also, but that is part of India culture and matter of gossip also. So this is not a new thing, how to value things. I think every Indian has some kind of in the genes that they can value things. Now in the globalized economy, certainly there have been a classification of the assets, 6 assets at present. I think in the Indian context, we have land, plant and machinery and financial assets. But I think more than that, there are intangible assets. And in the context of intangible assets, I would like to quote from Gita that in Gita, I found that there are 2 types of sampada, that is Devik sampada and Asuri sampada. And in chapter Adhyay 16 में देवी संपदा और असुर संपदा के बारे में बताया गया है. And these are all intangible assets, and because of that we can attach a value to a person, whether he is a gentleman or not, whether देवी प्रकृति वाला है या नहीं है, and accordingly we behave. कि सामने वाला व्यक्ति असुरी शक्ति वाला है या देविक शक्ति वाला है. So 2 types of sampadas are also pronounced by Lord Krishna in chapter 16, and where he said that these 2 types of persons, उनके बारे में उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स भी लॉर्ड कृष्णा ने दिया है कि वो किस तरह से उनके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होंगे. दैट मीन्स व्हाट आर द स्टैंडर्ड्स by which we can classify Devik Sampada Vyakti and Asura Sampada Vyakti. And just I would like to, there is a big chapter on that, but I would like to just quote one shlok. Devi Sampadi Mokshaya Nibandhyaya Usri Mata Ma Shucha Sampadam Devim Bijato Asi Pandava. वो कहते हैं देवी संपदा मुक्ति के लिए और आसुरी संपदा बांधने के लिए मानी गई है. एंड देन देयर फर्दर डिस्कशन अबाउट द देवी संपदा कि कौन कौन व्यक्ति देवी संपदा का हो सकते हैं. और उसका थोड़ा सा मैं बताना चाहूँगी. तेज, क्षमा, धैर्य, बाहर की शुद्धि, शत्रु भाव का न होना. देयर आर नंबर ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स प्रोवाइडेड बाय लॉर्ड कृष्णा. सो रिगार्डिंग इंटेंजिबल असेट्स, वी कैन वैल्यू टेंजिबल असेट्स, नो डाउट. आई कैन वैल्यू कि ये घर कितने का होगा. पर एज फार एज इंटेंजिबल असेट्स, आई थिंक देयर इज अ बिग चैलेंज at present how to value intangible assets. Goodwill or royalty or number of things are there for intangible assets, but in this context about regarding intangible assets, in addition to Gita, Lord Krishna, I think the Western jurists also have devised or evolved a formula for measuring intangible assets. For example, jurist Jeremy Bentham, who gave the principle of utility, that is the greatest happiness of the greatest number, and which is adopted for lawmaking in every democratic society. But how to measure the greatest happiness of the greatest number? He did not say that greatest happiness of the majority, but he said greatest happiness of the greatest number, and he gave a formula which is known as the principle of Felicific calculus. And means under that formula, intensity, gravity, there are 4 factors which are to be applied for measuring even the happiness, which is intangible. So my point is that the challenge now, happiness, there are many more varieties of intangible assets which we cannot think of, and it depends on the context of the society or the territory where a person resides, the behavioral pattern also. So in this context, I think institution of values needs to also come up. In the Indian context, we have international standards, but I think intangible assets may differ from country to country, and we have to devise in our context, especially India being a large market for valuers, large market for the investors, and it's a country with multi-diversity, culturally where there are a number of diversities. So naturally this is a big challenge for the valuers, how to arrive at a good value, fair value, for especially in the context of intangible assets. Now, it has been said always that valuers are key drivers, no doubt. They are key drivers in the context of the insolvency resolution process. They are the key drivers prior to the insolvency resolution process, because whenever a bank or any lender lends money, or in the context of mortgage also, there has to be valuation. So prior to insolvency process also, there is a requirement of a valuation, of valuers to value the assets against which the loan is advanced. And after that also, if there is a default and the process is triggered under IBC, certainly there is a provision for appointment of 2 valuers to determine the fair value and the liquidation value. Now, it is the valuation, I think, I will not say that it has been always the case in every case that because of the wrong valuation, there has been an NPA. It may not be correct to say so, but role of valuers, I think it was to a large extent, something has gone wrong in the financial system or in the economy of the country, maybe some percentage, I think, is to be owned by the valuers, because there were no uniform principles, and the valuers were not acting independently or uninfluenced by any other factor. They were influenced, they were under the influence of the officers of the banks, maybe industries also. So a professional needs to be independent. He has to act with an objectivity. And for that purpose, we require code of conduct. A profession is known by the code of conduct he adopts, he has to. It differentiates a person from the trader because he is under an obligation to follow the code of conduct. So for the purpose of success in this field, our valuer professionals can have a success only if they adopt code of conduct, which everybody is required to adopt. Even under Gita also there is a code of conduct for a Shresht Purush. Kisko hum Shresht Purush kahenge, there is a code of conduct. So when you take a person that this valuer is a good valuer and whatever valuation he has arrived at will not be challenged, उसको कोई challenge नहीं करता है, उसके against कोई objection नहीं लेता है, and there is no need to appoint further third valuer. I think that is the prestige or the respect one valuer gains while valuing, undertaking the process of valuation if he adheres to the code of conduct. So my humble request to all the valuers and all the organizations that it is the code of conduct which is responsible for bringing prestige, repute to the profession. Though through the rules, valuers have been categorized. It's a journey from valuers to registered valuers, no doubt. But more than that, I think that the conduct is important. Application of the principles in international standards are equally important. But while applying those standards also, the code of conduct plays an important role. So if code of conduct is observed religiously, literally, I think the profession will reach to, will attain a big height. It will go a long way, and valuers can make a distinguished mark in the society also, different from other professionals also. The way we have RPs and resolution professionals are also, they are bound to follow the code of conduct. And it makes the IBBI has taken action against those RPs which have not followed the code of conduct. So certainly, I think valuers also should have to have the same path to have success and to bring success to the whole IBC code. With these words, I thank you. I thank the organizers. Thank you very much.
That was Dr. Mukulita Varghese. And thank you very much, ma'am, for wonderful and very motivating words. We are now going to be inviting our chief guest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our absolute privilege to have Dr. Naurang Saini to be here along with us. So I would request him to say a few words.
Thank you, Madam, Master of the Ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to all of you. Mr. Thiagrajan, my colleague, Dr. Mukulita Varghese, and Mr. Vinay Goel, dignitaries of the dais, and of course, all the valuers. Again, very good evening to all of you. And first of all, I would like to convey my gratitude to Mr. Vinay Goel for inviting me here in this valedictory section. In fact, he invited me in the inaugural session also, but I could not make it because of the unavoidable circumstances. So thank you, Mr. Vinay Goel, for inviting me here. And I would like to congratulate the IOVRVF for organizing this very successful event for, I think, more than 1,200 registered valuers. And I have been actually attending many programs organized by IOVRVF, and I can only say you that the organizations are taking very keen interest in development of this profession. I'll not say that this is a new profession. It's a very well-established profession in the country. But yes, to be a part of the regulatory mechanism, this is a new profession. So thank you very much, Mr. Goel, once again. And as per the program, you had attended all the 6 technical sessions, including the institutional framework, technology, education, mortgage valuation, changing scenario of valuation in mergers, acquisitions, and of course the last very interactive session on role of valuation in resolution and liquidation. So if we see the history of the valuation, and if we see the number of the valuations, the number which is coming now is very, very, I can say, attractive. People are now coming forward to join this profession. We tried actually to gather the information for the number of the valuers which were existing in the country, and we were informed that around 50,000 valuers were actually working in the entire country. But now, in a very short span of the time, 3,330 valuers have already passed the examination, and 2,413 has already been registered by the IBBI as an authority. I will not go into the regulations, rules, or the provisions of the Act. Everything has been actually discussed in the last 2 days. So basically, just to tell you about the institutional framework, there has been a first very good technical session, and on 8th of June, in the first national conference, the Secretary Ministry of Corporate Affairs announced that now it is the time to basically to have an institution for the valuers like the other professions of chartered accountant, cost accountant, or company secretaries. So keeping that in view, the central government has, we are all aware that the central government has constituted a committee for institutionalization of this profession. And the committee had already its first meeting, and now, in addition to organizing the roundtables throughout the country, IBBI have invited the views from all of you. The press release dated 8th of October is available on our website, and if any one of you wish to give your views that what sort of the profession it should be, what sort of the institution it should be, basically what sort of the legal framework this institution should have. So around 40 queries are available on the website, and you can give the general or specific answer to all of the queries. Why I am requesting to all of you that because it all depends upon your views that what sort of the institutional framework you want. And based on that, the committee will deliberate and will submit its report to the government, and then the government will come out with the legislation for regulating this new profession. Now, we have been discussing the valuation standards also. Rule 8 is very clear. Till the central government notifies the valuation standards, you have to follow the internationally accepted valuation standards. The word is not or. Valuation standards issued by RBO. So till the central government comes out with the valuation standards, you have to follow Rule 8 in true spirit. I can only tell you that the valuation committee, one of the member, Mr. Pichaya, is sitting here. I am also one of the member. So the committee has already submitted its first report to the central government, and it's in the process of basically drafting the second report. And of course, then the central government will take a call on the report of the committee. Now, if we see the valuation examinations, because you all have passed, but your colleagues may be willing to appear in the examination. So you have to encourage the valuers who have not passed the examination yet. So far, the result has been around 14%. Numbers I have already told you. So around 14% people have passed the examination who have, out of the persons who have appeared in the examination. I can only tell you that IBBI is continuously monitoring the examination system. It's upgrading the question papers also. And of course, after taking the senior valuer professionals, and some of them are sitting in front of me, we have been taking their help in upgrading our question basically the number of the questions which we are having, and we will continue to upgrade the standards of the questions. Now, if we see the quality, there are two things. One is the quantity and another is the quality. Yeah. In the last session, it was discussed about the fee also. And consensus was that it should be left on the market. It should not be prescribed by the regulator. So in that context also, I would like to tell you that the valuer should not focus on the quantity. He should focus on the quality of the report. If the quality of report is par excellence, then I think the quantity will not be a restriction for him or her. Time is the essence. Before actually start of this valedictory session, I was indicated that, sir, you have to be brief. And in the code, we always talks that time is the essence. So I will conclude with the saying that as a valuer, you should conduct the valuation with integrity, responsibility, and total accountability. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saini. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is the time for the award ceremony. But before we start the award ceremony, I would like to invite all our foreign delegates to be on the stage for a photo opportunity. All our foreign delegates and dignitaries to be on the stage for the photo opportunities. Can I request all our foreign delegates to be on the stage for the photo opportunities? Award distribution for eminent members of IOV, and I would request Dr. Saini to do the honor. This is all right. For the eminent members of IOV, I would like to invite on stage Mr. A.K. Narayana Reddy from Tirupati branch. dignitaries to remain on the dais. This is going to be a very, very special felicitation, and I think without them, this entire Global Valuation Summit wouldn't have been possible. Who have been instrumental in organizing and making the Global Valuation Summit a great success. And again, without them, this successful platform, to bring that successful platform in front of you, wouldn't have been possible. So definitely, heartiest congratulations and thanks to them for being a part of this whole team. I would like to invite on stage for this special felicitation and thanks to Mr. S. Pichaya, Mr. Neeraj Kapoor, Mr. Sandeep Kumar Deb, and Mr. Sunil Agarwal. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcoming these four gentlemen on the stage.
I know now we are coming to the closure of this 2 days mind storming and brainstorming, brainstorming and a very good, I would say, a very good interaction. I think in future we are going to do like this only. We should proceed like this only, that where we should have the views of all the stakeholders and all of us to know where we are standing, have a view about us, ourselves. Introspection is required. Introspection is very much required, and that is how one can tread on the introspective path to see where we are standing, how we are performing, and what needs to be better for us, what needs to be done to better for us. As you know, now we are holding of this Global Valuation Summit on the occasion of 50th Indian Valuers Congress. Through panel discussions amongst eminent panelists in 6 sessions, what takes we expected or what takes we have. I'm glad that all the sessions, if we concise the basic, what we have got, people may differ, everybody can have a different view, but just a few words, not taking much of your time. Number one, there shall be a statute in emerging economies to establish mutual trust among the common people, end users and valuers, and the word valuer shall be protected under the statute. That's very vital. As in Singapore, when I attended recently, along with Mr. Sandeep Dev, this International Valuation Standards Council meeting, we coined this word and we stressed them that internationally this should be one unifying word for all the valuers. There should not be any disparity between the two. And then the technology and human interpretation of data to estimate value shall go hand in hand. No valuation shall be possible without the help of technological developments, but final opinion shall always be given by a valuer. This is very vital, you can say, we have gathered from here. Because everybody says that the valuation is a work of science and art. They are intertwined. One is the artwork without science in valuation is not possible, and only science, again, the same, number games only, nothing. That means one has to be cautious about this, that the technological intervention or use of technology to our advantage, to the valuer's advantage. And then the formal structured university degree, either undergraduate or postgraduate, education is the future of valuation. Education format for the emerging economies with continuing education program for the practicing professionals is essential. So that is a take we get from the educational session. And valuer shall determine the professional fees of a valuer on the basis of man-hour involved in each job. There shall not be any indemnity bond to be asked from a valuer, but there shall be an indemnity insurance for valuers for protection of both valuers and end users. That is the take of that session, mortgage valuation. And then valuation for mergers and acquisitions in one segment with lot of scope for application of valuation knowledge. As obvious, it comes with a lot of responsibility. Rewards are high, so risks are high. It should the whole this particular mergers and acquisition involves lot of responsibilities. Again, the continuous educational program, upgrading one's skills, capacity building in that area is very much required. And then apart from having all other essential qualifications and experience, a valuer working for resolution and liquidation shall have the quality of an expert witness. I think these are the basic, very basic takes we have. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the dignitaries present here, and I would like to thank Dr. Naurang Saini, who took his time out. He was not well, but on my persuasion, he agreed to attend this valedictory session. I am really grateful to you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Mukulita ji, I'm really, you can say, overwhelmed by your presence and the way you have given us a very puritanical way of valuation, or I would say holistic. What is the tangible or what is the intangible, and keeping a human being in that. I think that is a very easy way to explain what is tangible and what is intangible, and the valuation regarding both in both the areas. Thank you very much for your presence and for your guidance. And of course, our Mr. P.K. Thiagrajan, how can I pay my gratitude, because his blessings are with me along with my father. His support, his blessings, his motivation, it keeps me energetic enough to hold or to do whatever I want to do. And thank you. I'm thankful to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, first of all. You have done a lot.
Oh, sir.
Please stand and
Uh, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And lastly, this thanks will be incomplete if we don't give a standing ovation to my staff, the team, the entire team of IOV and IOV RVF. It will be incomplete. Please. Come up here. Come on the stage, please. It's only possible because of these people. Thank you. Without them, sorry. And of course, all of you, without your participation, this was not possible. It is your participation which has made it possible. It is because of you all. Thank you, sir. to thank our sponsors. It is, delegation fees is one thing, but the sponsorship, what we received was overwhelming, and that made it possible to make it a grand success. And of course, our event team, our production team here, and the catering service people, they needs to be applauded. Please. And finally, our Shireen. Please, Shireen Saga. Our master of ceremony, she has handled, sir. I think you all will agree that she has handled the best way possible.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. वैसे मैं गोयल सर को बहुत दिन से जानती हूँ, मुलाकात होती नहीं है, मैम यहाँ पर है तो नहीं. लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि इनको मिलके इतना पॉजिटिविटी मिलता है, एंड दिस इज सच अ ब्रिलियंट प्लेटफॉर्म. और मैंने एक दिन के लिए भी गोयल सर को टेंशन में नहीं देखा, बट आई एम श्योर अंदर ही अंदर में बहुत टेंशन में थे. बट आई बिलीव द एनकरेजमेंट, द मोटिवेशन दैट गोयल सर गिव्स टू ऑल ऑफ अस, we anyway perform very brilliantly. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being the constant support for all of us. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we end this session with the national anthem, गुजरी हुई जिंदगी को कभी याद ना कर, तकदीर में जो लिखी है उसकी फरियाद ना कर, जो होगा वो होकर रहेगा, तो कल के फिक्र में आज के खुशी बर्बाद ना कर. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you're constantly giving us the motivation and inspiration. Be like this, grow more, shine on, and of course, we would like to derive all the encouragement from you all fine people. Thank you very much for a lovely, lovely summit, and hope to see you very soon. Tab tak ke liye, good night, good evening, Shabba Khair. I would request everyone to please stand in your own spot for the national anthem to end this valedictory session. Thank you.